Hey, let me talk to you the way someone talks after weeks of gaming, working, and unwinding on the CyberPowerPC Gamer Xtreme, because once this machine becomes part of your setup, you start expecting more from everything you run. This is for the kind of person who refuses to pretend their old rig was fine. Someone who notices the micro stutters, the load times that stretch too long, the way demanding games force you to turn settings down even when you don't want to. If you're that person, this upgrade lines up perfectly with who you are becoming. Before we go deeper, check the current price and stock. High-end i9 rigs with modern GPUs don't sit untouched for long. You probably got here because your previous PC hit its ceiling. Maybe your frames dipped during chaotic fights, or your SSD felt cramped, or multitasking started feeling heavier than it should. There's a moment where you realize you've outgrown the hardware that used to be enough, and once that realization hits, settling becomes impossible. The first day with the Xtreme feels like switching on a different level of performance entirely. The i9 processor snaps through tasks with this effortless punch. The RTX 5070 pushes your games into that clean, crisp zone where motion feels smooth and worlds feel fuller. And 32 GB of fast DDR5 memory keeps everything flowing, even when you're running streams, tabs, chats, and games at the same time. Nothing drags. Nothing hesitates. It just keeps up with you. Real-life usage makes the upgrade impossible to ignore. You dive into open-world environments and the detail pops immediately. You load into competitive matches and feel the responsiveness tighten. Even editing footage or rendering becomes a calmer experience because the system doesn't struggle, it just does the work. And that 2 TB PCIe 4.0 SSD. Every launch is instant. Every transition is clean. You stop thinking about load times completely. If you haven't checked stock again, do it now. Price waves on performance builds can shift without warning, and waiting often means missing a good window. If you're still wondering whether it's too much power, or if you really need this level of hardware, here's something you already know. Every time you look at a weaker build, it feels wrong. Because once you imagine owning a machine that finally keeps pace with you, stepping down feels like betraying your own expectations. A surprise benefit for me was just how quiet the system stays during heavy sessions. You push it hard, but it holds steady without sounding like it's straining, and that calmness changes the feel of your whole desk. And owning it brings a subtle shift inside you. You sit down, press the power button, and feel like someone who chooses high-performance gear on purpose. Someone who's done with halfway solutions. Someone who builds a setup that actually respects their time and ambition. Speed that makes everything feel effortless, power that keeps games crisp, and fluid storage that removes every bottleneck, memory that lets you multitask without limits, a presence on your desk that feels like a real upgrade. The only downsides are that the case airflow may tempt you to add extra cooling later, and once you get used to this speed, using older systems feels almost painful. But those feelings are signs of genuine performance. You've compared enough. At some point, you stop circling specs and choose the machine you wanted from the start. And months from now, the only regret is not upgrading sooner. If the CyberPowerPC Gamer Xtreme is already in your mind, check the current price now and make your move while it's still in stock.